Assalamu alaikum. Hi, my name is Halima Hajat. I am a private health consultant, and today in the health podcast brought to you by UCTV that is sponsored by Audley Late Night Pharmacy, we're going to be talking about GCSE, stress and overwhelm. Yep, you heard it. We are hot into GCSE times, and literally the amount of stress, the amount of anxiety has skyrocketed across schools. GP kind of referrals have massively increased. There's mental health teams for student stress has massively gone up, and so we're seeing this really huge tense atmosphere for students and actually also parents as well, in this difficult time where post-pandemic, where schools have obviously, the curriculum has really been disrupted, schools have been disrupted. It's the first set of proper exams again. Students are really struggling, and the pressures that are around GCSE exams in general, and the expectation of wanting to achieve and do really well, that is this is all kind of contributing to a range of not only mental health conditions, anxiety, panic attacks, but also a lot of symptoms in the body, right? So anxiety isn't just mentally, it's more kind of when you feel your heart racing, and when you feel like you can't breathe properly, and your mind just goes blank and cloudy, and you don't really know what's going on, right? So it becomes very physiological, right? And even you'll probably find teens really like maybe spiking in their eczema or acne, and little and different things like that. So just keep an eye on what your children are actually suffering with and what they're dealing with, because the stress of all the exams will be impacting them on some level. And so we want to be able to help them manage that stress so they can regulate what's going on in their body, bring a sense of calmness in their body, and hopefully that will give them an element of control, more brain focus, this calmness, and actually it will help them to conduct their exams in a better way, in an easier way, one that is less consuming, in a less stressful, less overwhelming, and hopefully inshallah they'll go on to do really well. Okay, so in this video, just I just wanted to highlight the amount of pressure that there is on students, like wanting to do or expected to do really well at GCSEs. Now, generally, a lot of their school life is kind of working up to this point of, getting those GCSE grades so they can go on to kind of start building, whatever future they're going to build, or whether they want to go into college or apprenticeships or go into work or whatever it might be that they want to do. GCSEs are normally seen as kind of the foundation blocks to that, okay? And that kind of then automatically applies a lot of pressure on students, because what happens is that they feel like, they don't have a choice but to do well. They don't have a choice but to do well. And so if they are struggling already, because there's so much GCSE content they have to cover, right? There's so much they have to cover. It's really hard on them. I remember when I was sitting GCSEs, the amount of content that they do now at GCSE, I actually did that content at A-level time. And so the GCSEs back then were a lot easier, and it's a lot more difficult now in terms of how the difficulty itself, so how hard the content is, but also the quantity of content as well, right? So there's so much more that is a lot more difficult for students right now with GCSEs, right? And so we need to kind of just help them and just take it easy on them a little bit. As parents, yes, we do worry about their future, and quite rightly so, but I think we need to change the way that we're looking at exams, in the sense that whether they get good results or whether they don't get the results that they are expected, it doesn't mean that they're gonna you can go into having a thriving future, a successful career, regardless of what GCSE grades you get. I know people that haven't done so well in GCSEs but are doing really great in their careers. And people that have done great in their GCSEs that have great careers, right? And on the flip side, there's also the other side. People that have done not so well in GCSEs haven't done so well, and so they're, maybe settled for a job or a career that maybe didn't inspire them as much. And also at the same time, there are people that will have done really good GCSEs and then also in the very same boat. And so the GCSE results, it doesn't define your future. It's not going to define how successful that person is going to turn out to be. Of course, especially if you've already got a career in mind and you know like what steps you're going to take, and the GCSEs is part of that. Of course, it's going to get you ahead of the game and it's going to make it easier for you to get into those careers. But it does not define your success. It does not define your worth. It is not, if a student doesn't do as well, it doesn't take away anything from who they are, or or what their worth is, right? And so we need to kind of start looking at exams a little bit differently, right? And just kind of detach that expectation slightly from the teens, because there's only so much they can do. They study, they revise, they go into do extra tuition sometimes, they're doing mock papers, and they're constantly on the go, like doing their studies and revision and revision and revision, right? So there's only so much they can do, and they can only try their best. Once they've tried their best, right, and once the exam's done and the invigilators come and taken the exam paper away and is gone, that's it. It's out of their control now. They've done their best. They've tried their genuine hardest, and whatever results will come, Allah will decide that result for that person based on what is going to be the best thing for them, what is required for them, right? And then that's it. So we have to just tie our camel, which is we do our best, right? And then we leave the rest to Allah. And that's it. And then whatever comes of that, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah is fine. Alhamdulillah is great if you have good results. If you don't get good results, alhamdulillah, there are still so many opportunities. And worst case scenario, if you need to do GCSEs, if you need those GCSEs, you can retake GCSEs, right? So we just need to lay off that kind of pressure a little bit as parents, because they're looking to us, right? And if they're seeing you, having really high expectations and, you have to get the grades and you have to do this, etc., then it's going to make it really, really pressurized for that student, right, to try and really do well. But I think we also need to understand that when we're already stressed and when we have those high expectations within us, yes, there's a level of drive that it will help us to, study more and do more. But at the same time, it also works against those very same teens, in the sense that your body is in this kind of heightened state of stress, and so it will not be able to function 100% at that really high level. Your brain won't be 100% there. Your body is kind of, the energy in your body is finite, right? There's only a limited amount we have before we burn out. And so a lot of these resources we have in our body, if some of it is going towards like just trying to manage those feelings of stress and things like that, then we don't have enough energy when it comes to actually just studying and revising and doing well, right? So we need to learn coping mechanisms. How can as parents, really, we need to kind of just ease that expectation a little bit, make it easier on the students and not apply so much pressure on them. But also, for the students and the teens that are going through exams, what we need to do is kind of give them tools, techniques and practices they can use to actually learn to manage their own feelings of stress, their own feelings of overwhelm, and ultimately, giving them the tools so that later on in life, whatever comes their way, because life is full of ups and downs, whatever comes their way, they're able to understand how to navigate stress, right? How to be able to, calm themselves, how to be able to deal with situations, and it will make them so emotionally more resilient, more stronger, more mature, when it comes to, whatever future they go into. And so actually I've been doing quite a few sessions inside the schools, online in groups, doing private one-to-one, so much just around GCSE stress and well-being. And so if you I do have some things for you if you want access to it. Just email me at hello@halimahajat.com if you are a parent or you are a teenager watching and you want some help with understanding how to manage those feelings of stress and reduce them, so that when it comes to the exams that we're dealing with right now, things are actually a lot easier, a lot calmer, and we can kind of eliminate that kind of stress and worry a little bit. Okay, so just email me if you want access to that, and just type in can I have the GCSE whatever stuff, and then I'll send you over the what have you. And that's it really. And I think we also have to recognize and realize that the students or teenagers, they also need space to kind of just be themselves, in the sense that I remember like one of the sessions I had with a private one-on-one student, and one of the things that they said was that we went through a weekend, like a Saturday, and said, right, let's break down what do you do on a Saturday right now with your studies. And they spent around 3 hours in tutoring, another 3 hours studying, and obviously you've got your sleeping, your eating, your praying salah, your just your everyday stuff that you would do. And so when we kind of took away all of that, they only had like an extra 4 hours in the day to maybe choose to kind of get some rest, extra rest, or do something just to relax them, or social time, or just get some fresh air. Like literally there's only like 4 hours in a day for some free time. And that student, bless him, like he was thinking, well, I've got these extra 4 hours, I need to just, maybe I should use those to study more. And I was thinking, wow, like you're already like in school throughout the week, you study when you get home and all of those things, and you're doing extra tuitions. Come weekend, you are still on the go, full on, and you literally haven't had a minute to yourself just to go for a walk or go see a friend or what have you. And you've isolated, like you've got a couple of hours that you could do something, and you feel so like there's that pressure to do well, that you feel like whatever little bit of time you have left, you need to be studying more. I think we need to kind of put the brakes on a little bit. There's something about pushing our students and teens, our children, too far. They need enough rest. They need to be able to get that dose of nature. They need to be able to speak to friends and get that aspect. If they've eliminated fun and social and a bit of like me time from their life for like for the time for revision and stuff, that is not natural. It's pushing away from what the body naturally craves for and what the body naturally needs, and then that pushes away from being efficient. If you want to be more productive, if you want to do better, you have to literally pace everything. You have a spot for revision. You eat properly. You sleep really well. Don't sleep late into the night, or adjust your sleeping hours. You need your energy. You need your rest. Sleep. Go play out football for like half an hour or an hour just to get that mind fresh. Right, just to get that breather and just get your your endorphins and your hormones pumping around your body, where it's kind of getting what it needs. We need to think differently and be a little bit better. Okay, so I just wanted to share that. There's so much more I can share on this. Like I said, I've been doing sessions on this, so please reach out to me. And there's a session that I can actually share with you that you can watch in your own time. Just email me and I can pass that over. But we need to start doing things differently, because our teenagers, our students are suffering, right? There's nothing wrong with motivating them, encourage them, supporting them, but there's a limit. There's a limit, and we need to understand what is not what we think is best for them, is what is it that they actually need, right? And so we need to do what they need from us as parents, as opposed to what we think as parents. It's not about what we think. It's not about what we had when we were kids, and what our GCSEs and exams were like, because that's what we use to decide. We use our own experiences to decide how we think then we should help our kids. We need to just take a step back and just think, what is it that my child needs right now, and how can I best support him? So maybe have that conversation with your child and see what they need from you the most right now. Okay, I'm going to end it there because this is a very deep conversation that could keep going. But inshallah, do let me know what you think in the comments. Do, of course, email me. You're very welcome. I have conversations with everyone all the time. So, I talk to a lot of people. So just go ahead and email me at hello@halimahajat.com if you've got something to share. And inshallah, just jazakallah for listening as always. My name is Halima Hajat. I am a private health consultant, and this is UCTV, the health podcast on UCTV, and this podcast is sponsored by Orderly Late Night Pharmacy in Blackburn. Jazakallah for watching. Assalamu alaikum.